Okay, next step, we have Paul Hazelden, who's going to give us a presentation on Alan Turing. Over to you, Paul.
Excellent. Right, Alan Turing. Yes, I assume everybody knows what he looks like. I think that's the picture that the Bank of England is using for the new £50 note. So, Alan Turing, utter genius. Probably nobody else would be interested in this detail, but in 27, he moved with his parents to Ennismore Avenue in Guildford. I happened to live just around the corner from that for a while. But I never knew there was that connection. Probably more importantly, in October 31, he became a Fellow of King's College, Cambridge, at the ripe old age of 22. But in November and December 36, he published what is probably the most important math paper in history, on computable numbers. And in that, he describes what we now know as the universal Turing machine, and that is the model on which all modern computers are based. So it's there are no more significant papers, as far as I know, in science as far as computers are concerned. Anyway, yes, the important paper when he was at Princeton on dealing with the limits of what computers are capable of. Famous time in Bletchley Park. We don't need to say much more about that, I would assume. Lovely quote from a chap called Jack Good. I won't say that what Turing did made us win the war, but I dare say we might have lost it without him. Yes, lots more could be said about his time at Bletchley Park. We don't have time. He moved on to National Physical Laboratory in London, where he designed and was involved in developing the automatic computing engine, which several groups were doing this at the time, including the group up in Manchester. While the engineers were actually building the ACE, he and his group created a library of programs to run on it, which I think is an utterly astonishing achievement. 1946, he was appointed an Officer of the Order of British Empire. 47, a lecture on automatic computing engine, the first public lecture to mention computer intelligence. In 1948, he did a report, Intelligent Machinery, which effectively created the whole field of artificial intelligence. Yes, he published a paper in Mind in October 1950, where he describes what we now know as the Turing test, which everybody knows about. Elected a Fellow of the Royal Society in 1951. And then he lots and lots of different areas of interest. And one of them, chemical basis for morphogenesis, how mathematical models can show through chemicals how spots and stripes and different forms in living organisms can be produced. Absolutely groundbreaking work at the time. And I'm sure everybody's familiar in 1952, he was prosecuted for homosexual activity and given hormone therapy as a result. He was appointed a reader in the theory of computing at Manchester, who had succeeded in building the computer. He published an article on computer chess. Computers really are new at this point, but he's still exploring what they're capable of. Solvable and unsolvable problems in 54, developing ideas that originate from his uncomputable numbers right at the start. And then in 54, he dies, possibly accidentally, from cyanide poisoning. So Time magazine named him as one of the 100 most important people of the 20th century, with a lovely quote: "The fact remains everyone who taps at a keyboard, opening a spreadsheet or word processing program, is working on an incarnation of a Turing machine. And that is his legacy in every single machine we have today. Finally, in December 2013, he received a posthumous pardon for his conviction. The BBC voted him the greatest person of the 20th century, which I think is only fitting. And in March, the Bank of England released its design for the £50 note, and that will be issued on the anniversary of his birthday. Thank you.
Thank you, Paul. Thank you very much. That was, again, another interesting presentation.